Hello, YouTube. We are live today. I have with me Ricardo and Gil. My name is Bruna, and I am the hostess this morning. This is Talk and Talk, a conversation platform where we come to communicate and to practice languages in a safe place without any correction, without someone judging you. But we always learn a lot from each other, from our experiences, and I think that's it. Nobody is going to teach or something like that. Today we're talking about nonviolent communication, and I think that's it. If you are watching us on YouTube, we also have conversations and immersions for beginners that are not recorded, and also for intermediate students that are also not recorded. So if you want to attend, feel free to do it. All right, guys. So we're going to start as usual, introducing ourselves. And I want to know from you if you know the concept, if you have already heard of nonviolent communication. So let's talk a little bit about that. Well, I will start with Ju. So Ju, share with us who you are and share with us also if you have already heard of this kind of communication.
Sorry, can you repeat?
Of course. Can you introduce yourself and share with us if you know what nonviolent communication is?
Sure. My name is Juliana. I'm from Belo Horizonte. I'm a lawyer and data protection, and I'm journalist too. And about the no violent communication, I like this topic because I I read the book No Violent Communication by the Marshall Rosenberg. It's a interesting book because he teaches us reflect about word communication. Actually, we don't learn communication no violent, and he teaches us about this.
Awesome. Very good. You're good to know you already know the concept and you have already read the book. That's amazing. I have the book on my Kindle, but I haven't read yet. It's just there waiting for me to read it, but it's okay. Very good, Ju. Ricardo, how about you? Can you share with us who you are a little bit and if you have already read the book, if you know about the subject?
Well, I listened to some news about this topic. I watched some videos on internet or something, or but I'm not. I'm not. I don't know many things about. I just mention some. I just listen some mentions about it, but I don't really know about this topic.
No problem at all. So you're just like me.
Yeah.
I've already seen something, but I don't know it deeply, so it's okay. No problem. We also have Sarah with us. Good morning, Sarah. How are you this morning?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thanks for asking.
No, it's all right. Did you have breakfast?
Yeah, just like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's perfect. Just like me. Mine was like, I don't know, 15 minutes ago. So that's good. I am asking you because I asked Ju and Ricardo about their breakfast. So I'm also asking you. Very good. Today we're talking about nonviolent communication, all right? And I want you to introduce yourself shortly and share with us if you have already heard of the concept and what you know about nonviolent communication.
So, hey guys, I'm Sarah, 27. Would like to be here. I'm trying to learn Spanish this year. Let's see what happens. I like, I don't know. I feel like I don't have anything to share about myself. I haven't changed. But yeah, I didn't read the book. I've heard about it, but never read. But I think it is an interesting topic because I really need to learn. So that's why I'm here.
Yes, girl, I feel you. It's interesting because this is a subject I've never talked about. I have already read, and I know it's important. I have the book on my Kindle, as I was saying, but I don't know why. I started, but I didn't finish. It didn't catch me. So, yeah. But we're going to start talking about the situations that we think that are difficult to communicate or that are challenging for us, or if all situations are okay for you, you can also share with us. Uh, so, Ricardo, I want to start from you. Is there any moment in your life where communication is challenging or difficult?
Well, I believe that I consider myself a talkative person. Normally, I don't face problems about this topic. Well, I'm good when I have to talk with someone, but I should improve my behavior when I have to listen to another person, because sometimes I talk a lot, and it's better let your person talk to me. And so, well, I'm a work in progress, but yeah, I believe that I improve this situation, but I believe that is I should improve more. I should be improved
Yeah,
about this thing. Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting because this is also something I'm trying to pay more attention to in my communication. Because just like you, I'm really talkative, and sometimes I focus so much on my thoughts, and I forget that communication requires two people, right? So I am also just like you, a work in progress, as you said. Very good. It's good to know this is not a problem for you, and it's always simple because you're communicative person, so that's good. How about you, Sarah? Is there any situation where communicating is difficult or challenging?
Yeah, like every day. I don't know, people, it's like each person is a universe, so you have to shape your communication, especially for that person, specifically for that person, you know. So, but I can mention like two examples, like a job interview. I think that it is very challenging because you have to walk on eggshells. You can't say everything, and at the same time, you don't want to sound fake. At least I don't want to sound fake, because you can give them an idea about yourself, and then you get the job, and you can't live with the character like for the whole time. So it's important to find this balance. And I think the communication with the people we care the most, it's real challenging because you have a lot of emotions involved. So I always try to be rational, be reasonable, but also consider the emotions, have empathy, and I can never get like completely right, but I try. Like Ricardo, I'm a work in progress. I really like that.
Yes, I loved it too, and it's nice what you said. I think every time I need to expose myself or to present something, this makes me feel really nervous. So job interviews, presentations, it's funny because it's fun actually, because here on TNT we have the word sometimes, right? But I don't feel nervous. I don't know why. Maybe because the place is comfortable and I feel okay here. But when it's like another place where I need to present something or to, I don't know, to talk out loud, to introduce myself, it's always challenging. When I need to share my feelings, this is also a challenging moment. Like mainly when I have to talk to my parents about my wishes, my my thoughts, my point of view. It's really challenging because I struggle a little to express how I feel. But I am working on it, and I think this is something we have always to exercise. I don't know if there is a solution to it, just like job interviews, get used to doing it, to the questions, be prepared and just face it. So yeah, that's it. And how about you, Ju?
For me, I think it's a challenge about the feeling. Sometimes it's difficult because I need more time to understand the things. The complex things demands more time, and the people ask for your answer immediately. I think it's a challenge.
Yes, yes, yes. This is challenging, sure. That's true. And when you are frustrated or when you are nervous in a conversation, and when it's possible, how do you usually how do you usually guide or lead this conversation? Like, do you prefer to conversate and to talk at the time, or to try to talk later, to step back a little bit? How do you deal with the moments when you are feeling sad, or something like this?
I prefer talk about the things, the express things after, because I'm use a filter, and I can talk more, because the words don't when you send the words don't have back. You can back if you said the things uh, could be it's no good. I think it is. I'm prefer to talk about after.
Very good, Joe. It's true. This is a good point. I think I prefer to solve it immediately. At least the last times I needed to face or to talk about something, it worked better at the time the problem was happening. But it's nice what you said about the future, when we have some time to think or rethink, it's better, right? Hi, very good. Sarah, how about you?
I always take my time because I can be, I don't know, emotional sometimes. So I prefer to wait. Sometimes the other person gets angry because some people like to argue, and I'm not this type of person. But I try to relax, take a break, because I really believe that words can hurt, and I wouldn't like someone to speak with me in a manner, and I try to avoid. But sometimes I wish I were more like a fighter, because I I don't know, I think I could give the impression, the idea that I'm weak sometimes, that I avoid conflicts, so maybe it's good to try to just find a solution and move on with your life instead of thinking so much about it all the time.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. I think when I solve the problems later, I think too much about what is happening, and I don't know, I feel overwhelmed, and I don't know how to go back to the topic, to I feel just some anger, I don't know how to come back and just say, look, I was mad at you or something. So it's difficult for me. Very good. Ricardo, and how do you deal with these moments when you are frustrated or angry or upset? Do you solve it when it's happening or later?
Sometimes it's necessary to wait a while, breathe deeply, count until 10. Well, it's possible to do therapy and, I don't know, meditation. There's a lot of different situations because depends on each person. Some people have to, it's necessary have patience, but another people don't speak any words, just keep freezed and just looking, or don't mention any I don't know, any behavior, I don't know. So in this case, it depends. I believe that when I started the conversation, I talk about me and work in progress, but each person of this world is work in progress. I believe that's the reason of we here could be evolution. What mean is necessary you grow up, but not just during a while, and so for all life. So I believe that entire life is necessary you learn more things. So not about the knowledge, but about everything, include yourself. I believe that is the most important thing is about you. How,
It's true.
yeah, how much you grow up during your life, and it's always have time you start to learn new things about knowledge, essentially, and about you too.
Yes. And how do you solve, like when you have a conflict with someone, it can be at work or with your family. Do you prefer to solve it when the problem is happening, or to wait some time to think a little bit more? How do you like to solve this problem?
I believe that depends on the maturity. I don't know how
Mhm.
grow up the person is, because sometimes there are some people that have child behavior, spoiled person, something. So I try to talk, I try to insert arguments on conversation, but sometimes on the other hand, the other side, doesn't matter about uh, how much information do you have. It's just about who win this uh, tournament. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
it's is
This round.
I wanted to win, but it doesn't matter about the problem.
Yeah.
I believe, yeah, yeah, certainly is this occurs, and the both sides. Me is a
Mhm.
part of, so sometimes I make mistakes too. So
That's normal, yeah.
sometimes it's necessary to pay attention, focus, and in this conflict and try to solve. So sometimes I try to wait a while, talk if this person
Okay.
after some while. I don't know.
I got it. Very good. Very
Yeah.
good. Just like you. Yeah, very good. Sarah, how do you address conflicts in a respectful way? When you have conflicts, like, do you have any tips on how to address these conflicts in a better way, in a maybe respectful?
That is a good one. Usually try to measure my words, I think that is clever, but I don't have like something amazing, incredible tips. I think the simple works, or at least it's been working so far. Um, I think that the body language as well, because sometimes you can control your words, but not your face. So if I'm saying, "Oh, no problem," and I'm like this, there is a problem. So I think that you should know yourself well enough to recognize that whether you're feeling okay with the situation or if you have a problem. Because if you feel angry or about to, I don't know, to go nuts because you can freak out like in a second, I don't know, I think you should be this person trying to know yourself with therapy, with everything you can. And yeah, easier said than done, but I think it's possible.
Yes, yes, yes. It's really difficult. I was trying to think about that, you know. Maybe we can address conflicts. Maybe we can have facts. I think this is the key, you know, like bring the facts to the table, like look, this and this is happening, because like sometimes we don't have the perspective of the other person, like we just have ours. So look, this happened this day and I felt this and this way. Maybe knowing ourselves is a good first step, right? Like look, I'm not, or identify the way we are feeling can be something else, right? Like knowing how we are feeling and trying to talk about that. It's a difficult question, yeah. Ju, how do you see it? Thank you so much, Sarah. Ju, are you there? Ju? All right, maybe she's busy, but I will try to text her. Okay, she's there.
So I'm here because I'm using the cell phone and I'm lost in
No, it's all right.
the phone. So I think the how I may, how do you say, uh, what I answer the situation. I'm agree with Sarah. I think it's important to look at the face, older, the oldest manifestations, the people and the war self, and you be transparent more you can be, because sometimes you can do this. Sometimes the in the society you need to to do the things like the society asks, the society demands. You can be really transparent all the time.
That's true, Ju. Sometimes we can't be transparent, but when we can, I think it's the best way the best way we can handle something or these moments. I think it's being transparent, right? Very difficult. It's difficult to be transparent all the time. Mainly, I think at the workplace, you know, like we don't. I think it's really challenging. This can be a good topic, you know, like I don't know, transparency or sincerity at the workplace. Like, should we be sincere or should we? I don't know. Like, it's difficult. Yeah, very good. You really liked it. Ricardo, and you, how do you think we can address conflicts in a respectful way?
Uh, well, I believe it's not exactly a hard thing. It's just is show respect for the other side, try to encourage or try to stimulate other people to talk, express your feelings, try to avoid mention bad word, né? Or just speak up or something. I believe is just make sense question. Make sense. How do you say? Well, it's just it's necessary to just respect other people. Is I believe that everything is going well. It's not exact, in my opinion. Sometimes you watch some video or something. There are a lot of different explanation about this topic, but essentially is about respect, in my opinion.
That's true. You said something nice about avoiding bad words. I think this is important, avoid raising the voice, right? Avoid shouting. I think this is not always easy to be calm in this kind of situation, but I think it is important to control our emotions. Sometimes we are really mad and we just start like shouting and I don't know, saying bad words, but it's important to keep the conversation or the conflict more respectful, right? Really liked it. Very good, Ricardo. Guys, let's see the next one. I will go to question number 7 about some barriers we have in communication that prevent us from connecting with others. So what are some common communication barriers that prevents or that stop us from connecting with other people? I'll start from you again, Sarah. What do you think?
You're killing me.
Sorry.
Let me see. The prejudice, definitely, because if you approach someone with a vision that you are not willing to change, it's hard to really listen. You can hear, but you are not like actually listening, because you have the image about this person, and if, for example, you think, oh, this person is vain, shallow, or I don't know, and you talk with this person, and the minute she says something differently from what you expected, you're gonna think, oh, that's fake. I don't believe a word. I don't buy this. So I think that prejudice is so bad, because you are expecting something, and if you receive a different thing, you are like, oh, it's not true, it's not sincere. And maybe how you're feeling emotionally, because if this person has hurt you in the past, now every time you try to connect with them, it's like the confidence is broken, things are different, and it's not the same. I think that when you have this, you are blocked in a way emotionally, it's very hard to connect and to engage with the subject person. Yeah. These are the examples I can think of.
That's true. That's true. It's really okay, Ricardo. Oh, I didn't have the time to say goodbye. But you said something really nice about the prejudice. I think this is a good point. I must confess I couldn't think of anything when I read, so I was just like, I have no idea. So I always use Google to help me, and it's nice because I found some things like, for example, the culture. Sometimes we have like cultural aspects or cultural concepts we have of other people, and this makes us prejudge them or in a way that it's not healthy, right? So just because you are from a country, I think you are this way because of the concept I have or the image I have of people from your culture. I think this is really problematic, and it can also cause or it can also create barriers in the communication. Language too, of course, this is also something else, right? That like keep us from connecting. But just like talking about feelings, I think this is really true. Sometimes we have bad experiences when we are dating someone, and then when we date someone else, we just can't connect, or we had bad experiences at the workplace, and then when we change jobs, we are just so frustrated and so afraid of experiencing the same thing again, that we just try to protect ourselves, somehow. So there are so many things, right? Yeah, I loved what you said, Sarah, about the prejudice and the feeling. I think that's completely true. I couldn't agree more with you. Ju, can you think of other communication barriers?
I think you and Sarah said the all barriers. I think it's the bias. It's a similar the things you said. I think it is exactly all these barriers you cited. It's a complicated for connection with other people.
It's true. It's true. I hate this word barriers. I was saying barriers, but it's barriers. I'm sorry, girls. I always struggle with this word. But yeah, it's true, Ju. It's true. I think all of these things are important. Well, Ju, since you read the book, I want to know from you, what are some techniques we can use to practice nonviolent communication in our conversation with others?
I'm searching to understand the needs the people. For example, my friends say to me, send to me one message, and he writes to me, my husband, it's a idiot, but she did not say to me the things happened. She's just wanted to needs to how do you say xingar?
Curse.
What?
Curse. Curse. Curse.
So
You can say curse.
she needs to curse she needs to curse she's husband, and in the moment if I older people or older person, I just put the fire, but I just ask for her, maybe you need to understand the needs his, and I when I said this for her, she understand. She she's not understand with husband, and I think this I think the when do you reflect about the things about the communication, you have actions like this.
It's true. It's really nice what you said, because sometimes we're talking to someone, and when we understand what, like, just like you were giving this example of a friend, right? That they are cursing their, or she is cursing her husband and everything, or complaining about him. So sometimes they don't want us to give advice. They just want to share with us, right? And I think this is really important, and it can really help the communication in general, right? Because sometimes we give them something that it's not what they are expecting, and understanding it is really, really important. I loved it, you. Very good. Sarah, what strategies do you try to use or to help this nonviolent communication in our conversations?
I try to be to really listen, because if you are not paying attention, you are grabbing your cell phone or similar, you don't have the right to pretend, right, that you are there. I don't know. But if we are talking about not being violent, I think that you mentioned something nice, that is the how loud you're speaking, you know, the tone of your voice. And of course, know your audience, because sometimes I can talk with you in a very informal way and it's not disrespectful. But if I talk in the same way with another person, it might sound like this, because it's a different person, different perspective, other context. So yeah, if you know who you are talking to, you have the strategies and ways to change and have the proper communication, right?
Yes, you said something important about really listening and paying attention. When we started talking, I talked to Ricardo about the importance of active listening and of paying attention to what other people are saying, right? I think for me, this is really challenging. And one of the biggest challenges I have when I'm communicating nowadays, because I'm always doing a lot of things at the same time, and sometimes I don't pay attention to what I'm doing. And it is a great strategy to just pay attention. Come on, just do each thing at their time. You know, we start something and finish that. My like, I think it's my biggest challenge for real. Well, I'm going back a little bit to question number 5 now. I want to know from you girls a recent conversation where you felt you were able to connect with someone and communicate effectively, and what makes a conversation successful for you? Like, what is a successful conversation? I'm trying to think here of a recent one, and I can't, but I'll start from usual.
I think a successful conversation when the needs the needs the people involved in this conversation eh, is is I don't know the word. It's a answer the needs, and but if he don't answers all the needs, but have a balance, and the people satisfied with the result. And I think it's important to uh, 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 both sides feel understand. Oh, she understand me, and I'm understand her too. I think I think this is a successful conversation.
And when was the last time you had a conversation like this? You do you remember?
I don't remember because I don't have to how do you say more connections after the after the pandemic. I remember now. My brother was born with me because the CGs stay here in my house, and he changed for older city for a long time, but let the things he in my house, and he wants a photo, the CD, but he don't say to me the name, the CD he wants. He just search the names in the internet, but he don't know the name. What are you search the things he don't know the name. He have more 2,000 CDs. I don't have time to search what CD and without name. I of course I don't don't match this CD, and I did a video. Oh, this is all CDs. What do you want?
Very good, very good. Yeah, and then like after this, he shared with you the CD he wants, and then the conversation was like successful after this.
I think because my sister said he needs the needs his is so these DCGs the have this certainly. I don't I don't sell his CDs. I don't give the CDs for other people. The CDs stay here in my house, but he have the certain the things stay here in my house.
I got it. Very good, Julia. It's good that now he knows all the CDs are there with you, right? And he can be in peace.
Yes.
Very good. Sarah, how about you? Share with us. Thank you so much, you, for sharing the story.
Yeah, I wish I had like a business conversation, very fancy, but I'm just gonna share everyday thing. I was talking with a friend like on Monday, and it was really nice because I don't know, we found a lot of things in common. Talking about being an adult and paying for things and wanting to leave your parents' house. So that was the topic, and I was like, oh my gosh, why haven't we had this conversation before? Because it was so how do you say, refreshing to find a person who thinks similarly to you know. So I was so peaceful after the conversation. So for me, it was successful because we didn't have like formalities. The conversation just was happening naturally. And I think that when you have this I don't know, this impression, you feel good after the conversation, it's successful. And we scheduled for the beach on Saturday. So it's perfect because I really need to go there because I love it and it makes me feel so happy. You know, whenever I get to go, I just enjoy the moment.
Very good. Is the beach near your house, Sarah? Is it near?
Yeah, we can go by walking or take the bus and go to another one, but like 20 minutes, it's not so far.
Oh, awesome. Very good. Yeah, it's good when I think it's interesting because I was thinking of this question, and I was trying to think of a conversation I didn't have here on Talk and Talk, because we usually have good conversations here, and I usually feel able to connect with people, and I think most of the time I can communicate effectively. So I was trying to think of something else, and it's good you girls brought a different conversation, right? I think all the time I have the chance to talk to some friends, it's really awesome, you know. It wasn't the most recent, but last year I met a friend I didn't see for, I don't know, 5 years, something like this. And it was really nice because we were really open to listen to each other after so many years. And what made the conversation successful, we were open to listen to each other, and I and also to express our feelings, you know, like, look, I missed to talk to you. Look, I didn't talk to you for this while because I was uh I was burning out, or I was something like, I was going crazy, my life was so busy. And she also shared her thoughts. She updated me of her life, and it was really, really good. I think what makes a conversation successful is basically being open to listen to the other person, you know, and to, I don't know, just to enjoy that moment as much as we can, you know. When we are sincere to ourselves and to the other person, I think this can create an effective communication. And it's just amazing when you have the chance to have talks like this. So it's pretty good. Guys, I will escape to the last question because we answered almost all of them. Um, I think we haven't answered this one, number 8. How can we learn to recognize and manage our own emotional reactions during a conversation? This is going to be the last one. A really tough one, but yeah, let's talk about this. Ju, how do you recognize your emotions during a conversation or your reactions?
Ah, I I recognize maybe the signal, like this this is boring me in something, but I don't know why. I'm asking. This speech, it's boring me, but it's bored me, but I don't know why. And after you thought about this, why I don't like this person? Why I don't like the way he or she said she remembers someone. I'm always think about this. Oh, this is guy remember one professor. This professor, it's not good professor in the college. I remember. We thought about this thing.
Very good, Ju. I liked it. I think this is a good step. I couldn't agree more with you. To I think it's important to understand if also if it's worth to continue if it's worth continuing the conversation, because sometimes we are just talking to someone and it's making us really bad, but we just continue, you know. So I think it's important to know ourselves and to know when we are uncomfortable, you know, what makes us uncomfortable, what makes us sad or frustrated or something like this. So maybe I would say, know yourself, know your heart, and identify what makes you feel uncomfortable, you know. And then it's going to be easier to manage. And yeah, but it's a difficult question. Sarah, what do you think about it?
That's really tough. I try to observe my body as well, because sometimes it's kind of I can't control. I can't control, but it just happens sometimes, you know. For example, I start to move my hands too much, or my body it starts to scratch because I feel nervous and I have some some things that bother me, you know, and if I start feeling like my skin is getting irritated, hard word, I I try to calm down, to breathe, and as well I have like a whole conversation inside of my head. So I can be here talking with you, but there is another chat happening inside of my mind saying, or this person is nice or this person is terrible. So whenever I feel like this conversation is not going anywhere, I try to find solutions to stop the communication, or oh, I need to go, like I'm busy, or on WhatsApp it's easier, but face to face you don't have so much strategies to end, but it's possible, right? You just have to find a way.
It's true. When it's face to face, it's harder to control our emotions, our feelings, and sometimes when we are texting, it's easier and faster to do it, right? Oh my God, it's true. It's true. Girls, I have three things to tell you. First of all, I'd like to thank you so much for coming. I sent two links here in the chat. The first one is the link for you to send your feedback, suggestions, topics you would like to talk about. And the other one is a website. It's a website called Na Prática, and they are sharing a little bit more about nonviolent communication, explaining a little bit the concept, giving some examples, and well, I think it's a good way to learn a little bit more about that. And just like Jules said, there's also the book by Marshall Rosenberg called Nonviolent Communication. The book has the name. So if you want to learn a little bit more about it, this is the recommendation. I haven't read yet, but I know it's a really famous book. So I think it's a good first step to improve our communication, right? Something we do every day, and it's so important in our daily basis. All right, do you want to add something? How was the conversation for you, Ju?
Oh, this conversation, it's pretty good. I like this topic because it's self-development, and everybody, all we need to improve communication, it thinks what we relationship with older people, with with family, with friends, and the people around the us.
Perfect, perfect. Couldn't agree more with you. This is a subject I really liked, and I will try to read more and understand a little bit more about it too, because I think it's important, just like you said, Ju. And how about you, Sarah? How was it for you?
Pretty challenging, you know. I think that I need to apply this communication with myself more than only with others, because sometimes I can be harsh. I don't know. It was so good. Thank you a lot. You are
Yes.
awesome, bro.
I need to it's amazing what you said. I need to use these strategies with me when I talk to myself. I'm really toxic. Yeah, my self-talk is really is a bit toxic, you know. I am really harsh and on me, just like you were saying. And yeah, we need to be careful with ourselves too, not only with others, right? Girls, thank you so much. It was a pleasure. And if you want to suggest subject, something you want to talk about, feel free to do it. I hope you have a great Wednesday, and I see you around. All right. Thank you so much for coming. Bye.